In 1971, 6 emirates, later joined by a 7th, came together to form the United Arab Emirates. 5 decades later, the country has become a world leader in various fields. We look back at the big leaps and strides the UAE has taken since its inception. The UAE's population in 1971 was just around 270,000 people, and these people were hopeful for a bright future. In 1981, the UAE's 10th anniversary, the population jumped to a little over 1 million. GDP growth percentage that year stood at 4.6%. The decade saw big achievements, including the formation of the Federal National Council and the launch of the UAE's own currency, the dirham. In 1991, the country celebrated its 20th anniversary. The population was nearing 2 million people, while GDP growth percentage stood at 0.86%. The decade saw achievements including the participation in the formation of the Gulf Cooperation Council, the launch of Emirates Airline, and qualifying to the World Cup in 1990. In 2001, the UAE celebrated its 30th anniversary. The population rose to 3.3 million, with the GDP growth percentage projected at 1.3%. The decade's biggest accomplishments include the UAE dirham being pegged to the US dollar and the completion of the UAE's most luxurious hotel, the Burj Al Arab. In 2011, the 40th anniversary saw the biggest jump in population numbers as the country's residents neared 9 million. The GDP growth percentage stood at 6.93%. The decade's biggest accomplishments included the launch of Etihad Airways, the UAE's first Olympic gold medal, the completion of the Sheikh Zayed Mosque, and the world's tallest building, the Burj Khalifa. This year, the UAE celebrates its 50th year, the Golden Jubilee. The UAE's population now stands at near 10 million people, with the GDP growth percentage projected at 3.1%. The UAE's biggest accomplishments of the last decade include the completion of the Louvre Abu Dhabi Museum, Hazza al-Mansouri becoming the first Emirati to go into space, and the Hope probe going successfully into Mars's orbit. With so much progress made in the last 50 years, there's plenty to celebrate. But perhaps what's most exciting are the next 50 years, as the UAE looks forward with high hopes to its future.